my first run of .002 of the bad burn strategy from the stream yesterday. We're going to talk about my first run through of Numerons. I'm going to show version .002 here of the deck. I think... No, we're not going to show the deck. Just kidding. We're going to talk about some interactions. If you guys want to see the list, it'll be up on stream tonight a couple times for you guys to look at. God, the deck is so bad. Let's talk about Numerons, shall we? So I'm convinced at this point in time, after having played Numerons, that this is supposed to be a splashable engine. Alright, okay, so the first thing I went with, I watched Asian I's video. He's talking about playing heroes. He's talking about playing burn. And I was like, well, you could play Metaverse with Mystic Mine so that you can make your big Numeron guy troll your opponent and burn them. Well, see, the downside is here, Numeron Calling and Numeron Wall, everything revolves around the stupid field spell. You have to have Numeron... You have to have Numeron World face, that's what we're calling it from now on. You gotta have the stupid field spell up to start generating any of these effects. So the good news is the Numeron field spell lets you send Calling, which is the best card in your deck, to the graveyard, which lets you summon up to 4, number 1, 2, 3, or 4, one of each from your extra deck, which is pretty cool. But then here's the problem with this deck. Alright. You can make Zexal, which is great. It's fantastic. It's excellent. It does stuff. But you don't have follow-up plays. This is a hot take. Zexal is fair in this deck. Do you know how it's so hard to swallow that thought? Now, the way that we've built version 002 here is we've got Threatening Roars, we've got a minimal danger package for destruction. This sounds so bad, but it's so fun. And we're playing Magic Cylinder. This deck has to be a meme, right? One of my friends walked into a 10,000 Magic Cylinder tonight. I don't even know how you manage to not destroy it, but get Magic Cylindered for 10,000. So my idea, after kind of coming up and hearing what everybody else was doing, was we're just going to play a bunch of good cards. Alright, literal, if it works, it works. Alright, so you slam down your Utopic Zexal if you're going first. If you're going second, you can set up all of your big monsters, and you can slam the opponent, because they all have the effect of you can detach a material. The field spell says, you can activate their effects without detaching. So you slam 1,000 goes to 2,000, 4,000, and then basically 4,000 is going to be your biggest swing. But if your opponent's only got like 1 or 2 monsters on the field, you could possibly OTK swing them. The good news is, the way that the deck is set up right now, you can go second if your opponent doesn't have a means to interrupt the field spell, dropping the Numeron Calling. I hate you, Ash Blossom. I hate you. You are the bane of my tier 3 idea. Alright? You are the worst thing to ever exist. So the good news here, if you're resolving the Numeron, dropping the Calling, and you're bringing out the guys, and you know, your opponent's not trying to stop your desires, you know, your draw cards, all the good things that you need, the terraformings, the planet pathfinders. Ash Blossom ruining my day over here. You get to summon the 4 guys from the extra deck. You get to clear your opponent's board, and then you do the best play possible. Not make Zexal. Zexal is... The more I'm playing this, making the Earth Link, the 4K body that's unaffected by things, that card is nuts. Alright, how do you answer a 4K body that's unaffected by monster effects except for Xyz effects? I ask you, how are you supposed to out this? I don't see anything. It doesn't make sense to me. Alright, you put a 4K body on the field, your opponent looks at you and goes, oh, that's stinky. And the other thing that you've got with this deck C1 lets you overlay it on top of the guy, banish everything on the field, stand by, you bring it back. Your opponent takes life for the banished Xyz monsters. It's pretty cool. The reason why I bring that point up here for the board wipe is if your opponent is putting up a big floodgate monster like Avermax, hi Avermax, or troublesome monsters. Numeron calling gives you that out to go into that. Like, you don't have to worry about things really doing that. So the good news is they gave this engine the ability to rip through the field. All right. And basically, my problem with this is you've got 3 lines of play. All right. You've got Zexal stunlock the opponent, which isn't even that great. All right. So you can stall your opponent going first. Going second, you can board wipe your opponent through the big Xyz guy and then get it back. And then the third option is we make big Link monster go burr. All right, you can make Appaloosa, which was really cheesy, by the way. 4 material Appaloosa go straight off the bat for 1 spell card, but that's your play. Or you can make the big Earth guy, which is Link 3, and watch your opponent stare at it and go, I don't know how to answer this. Like, you can just, this is the look that they're giving you the whole time that you've got it. So that's why I was like, the strategy is optimal for burn, because you play your very good engine, which is the disruption, the board wipes, the things that you want with that, and then you set up the burn engine. All right, you already can burn 3k off of the C1. I burned my opponent for 9,000 tonight, so I know you can do it. It's viable, but the problem is, how many of each of these do you want to play in your extra deck? Because if you're playing 2-ofs, okay, for 1, 2, 3, 4, that's already 8. If you're going to 3 of each, that's 12. We're not trying to do that. So most are only going to be resolving this twice, unless that's if you're going for max. The card does state that you can summon up to 4. So good news here on the back burner of things. You can slightly cheese. You can bring out, in the later game, if you get the third calling, you can bring out number 1 alone, overlay it, do the board wipe on the opponent, and watch your opponent be frustrated with you. You do have that option to change things. You don't always have to bring out 4 at a time, all right? And I think that's pretty important to understand, is sometimes it's not best. Because if you activate the first one, you can conserve the other ones in the back for, just making the Zexal. So you can save the 1 for the additional burn, or you can bring out the 3 lackeys. You got cool little things and other paths that you can go down to basically allow you the different lines of play. It's interesting. Is the engine going to be competitive? I'm going to be honest with you. No. I don't see it, man. I think in terms of casual playability, something that my friend Numa might like doing, it's got interesting interactions. My issue that I'm finding right now with the deck is I want to play with Time Lords, can't do it because Time Lords skip out. They kind of interfere with the whole Numeron thing. I mean, I guess you could play Time, but I want to play like, I'm already playing Threatening Roars, Battle Faders, the Danger Package. We're playing Triple Desires in the deck with Triple Callings so that, we can actually draw cards. Originally, we thought about playing Pot Avarice. No. 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 Only being able to resolve Calling once a duel is horrible. It's just, at this point in time, we're going to see how many bad cards that we can put with this engine and see what kind of consistent results that we can pull from this. So those are my first thoughts on playing Numeron, the engine. It's a little bit more interesting than I thought it was going to be. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think is the most optimal strategy for playing the Numeron cards. Is it burn? Is it a control aspect? Is it just the tech engine in general? like to hear your thoughts. It might inspire me to find a way to do this myself. And well, I'm gonna leave you guys with this thought. Unga Bunga is really easy. Sorry, True Draco player. And sorry, Fenner, for having you walk into that magic cylinder for 10,000. Peace out, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.